American Jewish history is American history. It's one and the same. This isn't a book strictly focusing on the parochial interests of the Jewish community. It is a book which is attempting to show the influence that the American Jewish community has had on Lincoln during his life, and the influence that the American Jewish community has had on Lincoln's image after his death. At the same time, the influence that Lincoln has had on the American Jewish experience, which is, after all, the American experience. This is what I would call a documentary history. There are chapters. Each chapter begins with a narrative, and so you could read just the narrative and get the story. Then each chapter is followed by interesting documents where you'll find a headnote explaining each document. Of course, the other interesting feature of this is that there are going to be new documents that haven't seen the light of day, either for such a long, long time that they're practically unknown. In some cases, as a case with this letter that Abraham Lincoln's foot doctor, Issachar Zachary, wrote to Judah P. Benjamin. In a nutshell, this Jewish man, Zachary, on behalf of Seward and Lincoln, is convinced that if he's able to sit down and talk with a fellow Jew from the South, the two of them could probably talk a language that would enable them to present a negotiated peace. And he succeeds in this. He manages to meet with Benjamin. No one has had proof of that until now. Another interesting document is the flag that this man Abraham Cohen made for Abraham Lincoln. And what's so interesting about the flag is he makes it for Lincoln and gives it to him as Lincoln leaves Illinois to go and be inaugurated as president in February of 1861. And the flag is a painting of an American flag, and the Jewish man has put on the stars and bars an excerpt from the book of Joshua in Hebrew. Be strong and be of good courage, because you know the Lord your God will protect you against all those enemies who are arrayed against you, and so forth. It was his way of communicating to the president that he wanted him to be strong and to be brave, and that the Eternal One would protect him. Once he does become president, there are three very, very important controversies that attract the national attention of the American Jewish community that will persuade most of the Jews in the North that Abraham Lincoln is indeed a man who wants to protect their constitutional rights and is a man who is in favor of giving the Jew equal footing under the law. The title comes from this eulogy given by a man named Louis Naphtali Dembitz, who knew Abraham Lincoln and who was a supporter of Lincoln's and was considered to be a good friend of Lincoln's. And he was asked in Louisville to deliver the eulogy. And Dembitz begins his eulogy with these words. He says, "You know, brothers, we used to jocosely call him Rabbi Abraham, as if he were one of us, as if he were of the seed of Abraham." Then he goes on to say that there is no Jew in all of the United States who better represents the values of our father Abraham, the progenitor of the Jewish people, better than Abraham Lincoln. This is a book about American history. It is American history through the window of the American Jewish community. But there is much to learn about America by reading these documents and by studying the narrative of this book.